possible.
Now let me show you how to do it. Saludos mi gente, greetings everyone, my name is Dream King and today, I'm going to show you how to clear 2xKO's hardest combo trial. 2xKO had its official launch this week with Season 1 and the console version of the game being released a couple of days ago. Along with a large balance patch and some new content, the newest champion, Caitlyn, also launched alongside the latest update to kickstart the game's first official season. While everyone expected this new fighter to be a projectile-heavy zoner due to her massive rifle, her various gunshot special moves, and her Aegis reflector, the community was collectively stunned to discover that Caitlyn actually has some of the longest, toughest, and most intricate combos in the entire game, a trait that usually isn't found in hardcore zoning characters. From traps she can use to restand the opponent, to perfectly timed charged heavies and charged gunshots being integral parts of her toolkit, this character is surprisingly deep and technical to play. And this revelation for players was only further strengthened by the fact that Caitlyn also came equipped with a combo trial that swiftly earned a reputation drenched in infamy due to how insanely difficult it is to land and complete. With the latest update, each character now has 5 expert level combo challenges for you to take on, and it's Caitlyn's Expert Trial 5 that is crippling the fingers of players left and right. As you saw at the start of this video, several prominent and highly skilled players / content creators have already shared their experience with this
Demon Hellspawn
of a combo trial, and it wasn't easy for any of them to complete it. I suffered a similar struggle as these players during my first go-around, and it took me about an hour and a half or so to clear just this one trial, but since then I've gone back and done the combo numerous times and I can consistently pull it off now. So in this video, I'm going to break down the various parts of this combo, step by step, share some tips on how to get past its trickiest portions, explain some of the most common points of failure, and hopefully help you get through this trial yourself.
Sighted! Cake time! Cake time! Steady, cut away! Cake time! Like I said! I don't miss.
This combo trial begins with an air-charged rifle shot into her air bola toss. Now you're going to see the words partially charged a lot throughout this trial. What this means in the simplest terms is that you have to hold the charge for any charge attack you're using just long enough to get its special property in play, as opposed to holding the charge down for the full duration. You'll know you've held it long enough when you can see Caitlyn flash red. Once she does, whichever charged attack you're using will get an additional property like a longer juggle state, a crumple, or a wall bounce, and this effect is the same whether you partially charge or fully charge the attack. In layman's terms, this combo wants you to use strictly timed releases for basically every charged attack it uses. To start this combo, neutral jump from the trial's starting position and input your first partially charged S1 fairly quickly after leaving the ground. Generally, I try to position Caitlyn at a spot where her horizontal rifle shot is aiming just over the head of the training dummy. This is the best spot I've found that has produced the most consistent results for me. Like I mentioned previously, you'll want to hold the charge for the rifle shot until Caitlyn flashes red, and let it go fairly quickly after she does. The timing for this charge shot isn't quite as strict as some of the later ones, but you still have to release it pretty fast. While charging, hold the down input for a quick moment so that she aims the rifle slightly diagonally down, and this will ensure that the training dummy gets hit by the shot, and make it so that both Caitlyn and the training dummy are spaced properly for the bola toss to hit. Once the shot lands, you can just mash S2 to get the bola out and it should connect most times. During the bola spin state, you need to run in and forward jump into air charged heavy. The key to making this part work is jumping from a spot that is close enough for the air dash knee to make contact with the opponent, but far enough back for Caitlyn to hit the upcoming rolling slide once she lands. I've found that jumping when Caitlyn reaches the sitting NPC in the background tends to be the perfect range for this to work, though you'll still have to time the upcoming attacks well to line everything up. After the run and jump, you'll need to hit that partially charged air heavy, and you'll want to make sure you're not too low to the ground when hitting it, because you'll either be too late and Jinx will air tech out of her spinning state, or you won't be able to connect the next part of the combo. I mainly aim for just getting the air charged heavy to hit before Jinx techs out, and that seems to work well. As long as you're hitting it close enough for the air dash knee to land, you should be good here. So, You hit the air charged heavy, cancel into back S2, and the knee hits. Like pretty much everything in this combo, this next part requires very specific spacing and height to work. The trial asks you to hit air medium out of the air dash, then hit crouching medium when Caitlyn lands on the ground so that she can get her rolling slide out. It's a tight link because you have to hit the air medium close enough to the ground, while also having Jinx low enough to the ground for the crouching medium to hit successfully and fast enough to prevent the dummy from falling out of the combo. But fortunately, there's something about the air dash knee that can help you set this up a lot easier. You see, when that knee connects, Jinx enters a falling state that keeps her vulnerable to an attack until she hits the ground. The hit stun on this is decently long, and in this scenario, it's long enough to make it so that Jinx won't air tech out, but will instead stay open to a hit until she lands on the ground. This means that once you hit the knee, you can actually delay the air medium long enough to allow both Caitlyn and Jinx to fall closer to the ground, then hit your air medium. The window is long enough to see and react to, and it's one of the only parts of this combo that is fairly lenient with its timing. Hit the air medium low to the ground, and as soon as Caitlyn lands back on the floor, hit the crouching medium and cancel right into her rolling slide. If you hit this properly, the rolling slide will put Jinx into a hard knockdown state and allow you to keep the combo going. One thing you might run into when going for the rolling slide is Caitlyn rolling underneath the opponent and missing the move entirely. If that's happening, it likely means you're too close, and that the running jump you did earlier was a bit too late. Go back to that part of the combo and make sure you're jumping from the right spot and hitting the air knee properly so that you don't roll under the opponent during the slide. And if you are jumping from the right spot and you're still getting the roll under, it means that you're not hitting the air medium low enough to the ground, and Jinx is too high when the normal is connecting. Remember that the air knee leaves Jinx in hit stun long enough for you to delay that air medium as long as you need to get her to the right height. You might encounter Jinx teching out of the combo after the slide hits, and I'm not entirely sure why this happens. I think it might be from the slide hitting Jinx while she's too high up, but out of all of my attempts at this combo, which is probably in the hundreds by now, I've only run into this issue maybe 10 times. So it shouldn't be something that's happening too often to you. Now, if you're really struggling with this trial, I would highly advise focusing on getting this section of the combo we just talked about down first. Whenever I'm trying to learn a long and really difficult combo, I break it down into sections and build the muscle memory for it in pieces. And once I feel comfortable, I put the pieces together. So don't worry about the rest of the trial right now. Just focus on what we'll call section 1 and get as comfortable as you can doing it. After you hit the roll slide, throw an uncharged cake trap with down S2. This is an easy link, and you can even mash down S2 during the recovery from the slide to make sure it comes out. Once the training dummy is caught in the trap, you'll need to land your next partially charged heavy. This is a very fast charge, and you have to release it essentially right as Caitlyn turns red. This partial charge feels nearly frame perfect, and it's something you see quite a bit when learning her advanced combo routes. So it does get easier the more you play her, but it's a damn tough link, make no mistake about it. This part is particularly tricky because the recovery from the cake trap is deceptively long, so it's easy to rush and try to start charging the heavy, but nothing comes out. So if you find that your charge heavy isn't coming out at all during this part of the combo, delay a little more before inputting it. This right here is what makes this link so tough. You have to wait just the right amount of time after the cake trap is thrown to start the charged heavy, then release it at just the right time to hit the crumple in time before the combo drops. When you get that heavy to land and crumple the opponent, cancel it right into a charged down S2 so that the trap bounces off of the wall and is placed in the right spot for later. You'll notice that the trial inputs don't tell you to do this here, but instead list the cake trap later in the combo because technically it doesn't hit until later. But it's at this point in the combo where you need to set the trap so that you can use it for the final section of this trial. Oh, and something important to note. This charged cake trap doesn't work like the other partially charged attacks you've been using. It only has 2 speeds, uncharged and charged. So in this case, just hold the S2 all the way until you see Caitlyn actually toss the trap to make sure you're getting the right version. The charged heavy crumple lasts long enough for Caitlyn to cancel into the charged trap, then partially charge the first rifle shot to keep things moving. Just like the heavy before it, this gunshot is another fast charge and release. You'll also want to aim it slightly down when shooting it so that you can properly land the follow-up shot. This is another tricky part of this trial because you have to aim this shot slightly down so that Caitlyn can hit the follow-up, but also aim high enough so that she doesn't also shoot the trap you just threw in the process. So when you go for this part, just aim slightly down similarly to how you did with the rifle shot at the very start of the combo. To do this, hold down for about a split second during the charge, then let go of the down input and just keep the shot aiming right there. This will cover the first charged shot, then the follow-up charged shot too. Two quick things about this first charged shot. I've seen other people do this trial by not aiming down at all and just shooting straight. However, it felt a lot less consistent to me, and aiming slightly down seems to work better overall. 2. If Jinx is teching out after this first shot, even if you got the charged shot out, it's because she fell too far down during the crumple and at that point has likely transitioned into being considered grounded instead of still airborne. To fix this, you need to be quicker when releasing the charge shot. The second charge shot needs to be done with basically the same charge timing as the first, so double up there, and when the second shot hits, it will wall bounce the dummy and set you up for the final part of the combo. Just like with section 1, I highly recommend learning section 2 in its entirety and building the muscle memory for it up a bit before proceeding to the final section, because this last part is the hardest part of the combo, and is largely what is making people go insane over it. During the wall bounce, the trial requires you to dash forward, then very quickly go for another perfectly timed partially charged heavy as Jinx is falling down. And here is the secret to why this part of the combo feels random to some people and is so hard. When you dash forward for the charged heavy, you have to do so in a way that is perfectly spaced and perfectly timed in order to push Jinx into the trap as the normal comes out. Caitlyn moves forward during the animation of her charged heavy, and you use that forward movement to push Jinx's body into the trap during the charged heavy swinging animation. When done correctly, Jinx hits the trap right before the charged heavy actually hits. And in order for it to register in the combo trial, that charged heavy needs to hit within what feels like a very small window during the trap's hit animation. Looking really closely at it, it seems like these two attacks have to hit within a few frames of each other, and it's like the game almost considers them a singular attack. When you look at the trial inputs closely while this part is successfully registered, you can see the checkmark for the down S2 starts to appear, and before it even finishes, the checkmark for the charged heavy starts up as well. If you wait for Jinx to be popped up from the trap, then hit your charged heavy, it won't register with the trial and the combo will drop. What you want to do here is dash forward far enough so that you're close to the trap and the airborne Jinx, but not so close that you prematurely push her into the trap or cross under her. While it might seem like this part of the combo is insanely strict and has no leeway, and that's mostly correct, I did find something that makes it slightly easier. So despite the trial inputs saying that the heavy needs to be partially charged here, in actuality you can fully charge it and still make the combo work. This makes it so that you don't have to worry about any quick release timing for this part of the combo, and instead, all you have to focus on is the forward dash. To take advantage of this exploit, forward dash, then interrupt that dash with the startup of the charged heavy. And as long as you made it to the proper distance during the heavy startup, you can hold the heavy all the way through and still get the desired effect. You can see in this example here that I'm still holding heavy well after the charged heavy has hit the target, and it still registers as a successful trial input. The last part of this combo trial isn't too hard when you understand and remember in the heat of the moment that you can and need to run cancel out of that charged heavy right when it lands, while the trap is hitting. Immediately dash forward out of the normal and forward jump, then throw the air cake trap as soon as you can, and you should land with enough time to mash level 3 and finally complete the trial. And that's how you do Caitlyn's Expert Trial 5. I hope this guide helps you get through it as well, and if it does, be sure to hit the comments to let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want even more crazy 2x KO Caitlyn combos, you can also check out my full combo video for the game's latest champion. That's it for me, y'all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.